My name is Alvin Tam, and I'm the founder of Soul Acrobats. Today, you're going to practice the free running component.
Okay.
And essentially, free running, there's the best definition I can give you is that you take a regular object and use it in a different way. It's like ninja training, and so essentially, it's an exercise in coordination. It's an exercise in accuracy, and it's also an exercise of the mind. Yes. That's it. The idea is to get to the point where you keep backing it up till you're like, I don't think I can do it anymore. And this is what I call the oh shit moment. The edge is getting to a point where you go, oh no, I can't go any further. And all of the edges are there because just beyond the edge is what you perceive as fear. And that's what defines the edge. The edge is on this side of the edge is comfort, on the other side is discomfort. On this side is the known path, on the other side is the unknown and the fear. Okay, and then jumping forward, or running forward, 14. 14. As much fun as Cirque is, I had to go out and strike out on my own and create my own business. Part of the fears that I encountered was not knowing if I was able to make money, but when you don't face your own fear or face your own edge, it affects all your other actions. Often what I'll do is I'll just ask myself, what should I do with this particular fear? And I got this vision of myself as a homeless person on the street. And I said, that sounds really strange, that sounds very unusual. And then it manifested as an idea. And the idea was, what I should do is I should go out and spend 24 hours on the street homeless to experience what it would be like. The worst consequence if I started a business, it failed, and I didn't succeed in it. The worst that could happen is I could lose all my money, lose my house, lose my car, and I would end up walking around the streets of Las Vegas begging for money. So I decided one chilly December day, I should put on my clothes with some holes in them, and I put on my shoes which had holes in them, and walk out the door with nothing. No credit card, no money, no cell phone. The cell phone is a lifeline for a lot of people. I ditched my cell phone, and I just walked out of my door. I said to my wife, I'll see you in 24 hours. And I'm not gonna be calling you, so I'll see you in 24 hours. I walked out the door and I thought, I'm gonna hitch my way down to the downtown area. And then I realized, you know what? I couldn't even get a ride. So I just ended up walking. And so from my house to downtown was a good 20 miles. So at about mile 10, I was happy because I was exercising, it was a sunny day. At about mile 14, I was still enjoying myself, but I was getting thirsty. At mile 18, my feet started to hurt, I was thirsty, and I was getting tired. By mile 20, it was dark, I was hungry, thirsty, my feet hurt, and I was starting to get miserable. That's when I started begging for money. And I started asking people for $1, and I thought this was going to be an exercise in fear. What I realized was I was begging for money because I was hungry. And the experiment didn't matter anymore. I just wanted to eat something. And it had been about 12 hours since I hadn't eaten, since I walked out the door. I finally got $1, and I went to the nearest 7-Eleven. You can't buy anything for $1 these days. So I looked around, I got a cup of hot water, put some vanilla cream in it, and I think I bought a banana. That was 69 cents. That was my budget for the day. And I walked around. By now it was dark and it was cold. It's middle of December. And I'm in the middle of downtown, which is the tent area, the Washington Street area. And at night, it's kind of like the zombies come out. All these homeless people come out of the woodwork. And all these homeless people are just walking around the street. They have nowhere to go. And I experienced what it's like to beg for the day, try and find a shelter for the night, and then sleep in a bed that is, it's okay, it's not the best, it's not a water bed. There was a certain kind of camaraderie that you wouldn't see anywhere else. And in the middle of the night, I remember some guy waking up in the middle of the night and starting to yell and scream. Maybe he had a nightmare, I don't know what. And I just heard somebody else next to him say, hey man, are you okay? Go back to bed. And it was a very touching moment. There was a massive amount of brotherhood that you wouldn't find anywhere. The fact that everybody was homeless, that binded everybody. And there was no status symbol. Everybody had no money. So there wasn't any of that. At the same time, there was a very clear sense that if that piece of bread is on the table, it's mine. Forget it. It's not yours. And you're going to lose. What I learned after the experience was that it's not the business that you're in, nor it's how well you handle money that's going to hold you back or put you forward. It's your mindset. I don't talk about where I can get my next meal. I talk about other things. And what I understood was that what you talk about is what you create in your life. Because your talking is a reflection of your thoughts, and your thoughts are the creators of your reality. So that given, if I'm always talking about where my next meal comes from, I'm definitely talking from an impoverished mindset. And if I looked at these men, although they may not have been clean and wearing nice clothes, they were all physically intact. In other words, they could do what I could do, which is work a job or start a business. They all had four limbs, 2 arms, 2 hands, eyes were working, mouth was working, they could speak English, they could write English. They had all the basic skills to do what I can do. So afterwards, what I understood, the most important takeaway from that experience was that building a business, or the fear that I had, didn't have anything to do with my money nor business, but my mindset. And that's what is very passionate for me. And one of the things that I love to do is helping people do something they never thought they could do before. And the other way to say that is help people make an art of the impossible.